You're scrolling through your phone at 2 in the morning, and you see it. That notification, the one that makes your stomach drop. Your credit card payment is due tomorrow, and you're not sure if you have enough to cover it. And the thing is, you make good money. You're not broke. You're educated, you work hard, you're doing everything right. So why does it feel like you're always one bad month away from falling apart? If that feeling hits a little too close to home, do me a favor right now. Hit that like button. Because what I am about to share with you might be the most important 15 minutes you spend this week. And make sure you subscribe, because we are going to talk about money in a way most people are too afraid to. Here's what nobody tells you. The reason smart people, successful people, people who should have their lives together, end up living paycheck to paycheck has almost nothing to do with how much money they make. It has everything to do with how they feel about money. And that's the part that keeps you stuck, because you can't budget your way out of an emotional problem. Let me explain. Most financial advice assumes you're a robot. It assumes that if someone just shows you the right spreadsheet or the right savings plan, you'll follow it perfectly. But that's not how humans work. You know you should save more. You know you shouldn't buy that thing you don't need, but you do it anyway. And then you feel guilty, and then you promise yourself you'll do better next month. And the cycle continues. This isn't about discipline. It's about something deeper. It's about the emotional traps that keep you running in place, no matter how much you earn. And until you understand these traps, no amount of income is going to fix the problem. Let's start with the first one. It's called lifestyle inflation. But that term makes it sound like a choice. It's not. It's an emotional response to years of feeling like you didn't have enough. Think about it. You spend your 20s broke. You're eating instant noodles. You're splitting rent with 3 roommates. You tell yourself, once I make more money, things will be different. And then you finally get that raise. You get that promotion. You start earning what you thought would change everything. And for a moment, it feels amazing. You upgrade your apartment. You buy a nicer car. You start going to better restaurants. You finally feel like you've made it. But here's the trap. Every time your income goes up, your expenses rise to meet it. Not because you're irresponsible, but because you're trying to heal something. You're trying to prove to yourself that you're not that broke person anymore. You're trying to feel secure. You're trying to feel successful. And the only way you know how to do that is by spending. And it works. For a little while, until you realize that you're making 3 times what you made 5 years ago, and somehow you still have nothing saved. You're still stressed about money. You're still living month to month. And you can't figure out why. Here's why. Because you're not spending money on things. You're spending money on feelings. You're buying relief. You're buying validation. You're buying a version of yourself that feels less anxious. And that's expensive, because feelings don't have a price limit. Now, before you think I'm judging you, I want you to know something. This is normal. This is human. We live in a world that has spent billions of dollars figuring out how to make you feel like you need more. Every ad you see, every influencer you follow, every post on social media is designed to trigger that feeling of not enough, not successful enough, not comfortable enough, not happy enough. And the solution is always the same. Buy something. So if you've fallen into this trap, it's not because you're weak. It's because you're human. And recognizing that is the first step to breaking free. If you're still with me, drop a comment right now and just say I felt that. Because I want to know this is landing. I want to know you're not alone in this. Let's talk about the second trap. It's the one nobody wants to admit. It's what I call the comfort spending cycle. And it works like this. You have a stressful day at work. Your boss is on your case. You're burnt out. You feel underappreciated. And you come home exhausted. And in that moment, you don't want to think about your budget. You don't want to cook a cheap meal. You don't want to say no to yourself. You want to feel better. So you order food. You buy something online. You book a trip you can't quite afford. Not because you planned it, but because in that moment, spending money feels like taking care of yourself. And here's the thing, it does help. For a moment, you feel a little relief, a little pleasure, a little control. But the next day, the stress is still there. The exhaustion is still there. And now, there's something new. Guilt, regret, and the bank account that's a little lighter. So you promise yourself you'll be better. You'll be more disciplined. But then the stress comes back. And the cycle starts again. This is the trap. You're not spending because you're careless. You're spending because you're tired. And when you're tired, your brain doesn't want to make smart decisions. It wants relief. And in a world where everything is one click away, relief is always available. For a price? So what do? You can't just stop feeling stressed. You can't just stop being human, but you can start to recognize the pattern. You can start to ask yourself, am I buying this because I need it, or because I need to feel something? And that question, that pause, that's where change starts. Now here's the third trap, and this one is sneaky. It's what I call the illusion of future security. It sounds like this. I'll start saving next month. I'll get serious about investing once I pay off this debt. I'll build my emergency fund after this vacation. I'll get my life together soon. Just not today. And the problem is, next month never comes. Because next month, there's another expense. Another reason to wait. Another thing that feels more urgent. And meanwhile, time is passing. Years are passing. And you're not building anything. You're just surviving. And deep down, you know it. And it scares you. But not enough to change. Because change feels hard, and you're already so tired. Let me tell you what's really happening here. You're avoiding the emotional weight of taking control. Because taking control means admitting that you're not where you want to be. It means facing the gap between where you are and where you should be. And that's uncomfortable. So you're pusheta. You tell yourself a story that makes it okay to wait. And every month, the gap gets wider. But here's the truth. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today, not next month, not after you get that raise. Today, even if it's small, even if it's imperfect, because small and imperfect today beats perfect and never. I want you to pause the video right now and ask yourself one question. What am I avoiding? Not with money, but emotionally. What am I scared to face? Write it down, say it out loud, because once you name it, it loses some of its power. Now let's talk about the turning point, the shift that changes everything. And it's this: you have to stop seeing money as a tool for feeling better, and start seeing it as a tool for feeling free, because that's what money actually is. It's not happiness, it's not success, it's not proof that you've made it. It's freedom. Freedom from stress, freedom from fear, freedom to make choices that aren't driven by desperation. And when you start to see it that way, everything changes. You stop spending to fix how you feel today, and you start saving to protect how you feel tomorrow. You stop trying to look successful, and you start trying to be secure. You stop living for the moment, and you start building for the future. And here's what that looks like in real life. It means that the next time you're tempted to buy something you don't need, you pause. You ask yourself, will this bring me closer to freedom or further from it? And sometimes the answer is yes, buy it. Because joy matters, comfort matters, but most of the time, the answer is no. And that no isn't deprivation, it's protection. It's you choosing your future self over your current craving. It means that you start small. You don't have to save $1,000 this month. You start with 50, with 20, with whatever doesn't break you. Because the amount doesn't matter as much as the habit. You're training your brain to believe that your future matters, that you matter, and that's powerful. It means that you automate everything you can. You set up a transfer the day you get paid. You put money somewhere you can't easily touch. Not because you don't trust yourself, but because you're making it easier to do the right thing. You're removing the emotional decision from the equation. And it means that you stop comparing. You stop looking at what other people have and using that as a measuring stick for your worth. Because their life is not your life. Their timeline is not your timeline. And their highlight reel is not the full story. You focus on you, on your progress, on your peace of mind. Let me give you a real example. Let's say you make $60,000 a year. That's about $5,000 a month before taxes. After taxes, let's say you're taking home $4,000 now. If you're living paycheck to paycheck on $4,000 a month, it's not because $4,000 isn't enough. It's because your expenses have expanded to fill that space. And the way out isn't making more money. It's creating space between what you earn and what you spend. So you start with $100 a month. You automate it. You forget about it. After a year, you have $1,200. That's not life-changing. But it's something. It's a cushion. It's proof that you can do this. And next year, maybe you increase it to $200. And the year after that, $300. And 5 years from now, You have $20,000 saved, and that $20,000 isn't just money. It's options, it's breathing room, it's the ability to say no to a job that's killing you, to take a risk, to not panic when your car breaks down. That's what this is really about. Not deprivation, not suffering, not missing out. It's about buying back your peace of mind, and that's worth more than anything you'll ever buy. If this is making sense, do me a favor and share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because chances are, someone in your life is fighting this same battle in silence. Now, let's talk about what you can do right now, today, this week, because knowing all of this doesn't help if you don't act on it. First, you need to get honest, brutally honest, about where your money is actually going. Not where you think it's going, where it's really going. Pull up your bank statement. Look at the last 3 months, and I mean really look. Not with judgment. With curiosity. What patterns do you see? What are you spending on that you forgot about? What subscriptions are you still paying for? What emotional purchases keep showing up? Second, you need to create a buffer. Even a tiny one. Open a separate savings account. Name it something that matters to you. Peace of Mind Fund, Freedom Account, Future Me Savings, and put something in it. $20, $50, whatever you can. And then don't touch it. Let it sit there. Let it grow. Let it remind you that you're building something. Third, you need to change one habit. Just one. Not 10. Not your entire life. One thing. Maybe it's making coffee at home instead of buying it. Maybe it's meal prepping on Sundays. Maybe it's unsubscribing from marketing emails so you're not tempted every day. Pick one thing. Do it for 30 days, and watch how it shifts everything else. Fourth, you need to start talking about this. Not to brag, not to complain, but to normalize it. Tell a friend you are trying to get better with money. Ask them if they want to do it with you. Because when you're doing this alone, it's easy to give up. But when you have someone else in it with you, it's easier to keep going. And fifth, you need to forgive yourself. For every mistake you've made. For every dollar you wasted. For every month you didn't save. You can't change the past. But you can stop letting it define your future. So let it go and start fresh. Today, here's the truth that nobody tells you. Most people never figure this out. They spend their entire lives stressed about money, wondering why they can't get ahead, blaming themselves for not being better. And they never realize that the system is designed to keep them stuck, that the entire economy is built on making you feel like you need more, that your worth is tied to what you own, that spending is self-care and saving is deprivation. But you're different, because you're here, you're listening, you're willing to question the story you've been told. And that's rare. That's powerful. That's the first step to everything changing. So here's what I want you to remember. You are not broken. You are not bad with money. You are not doomed to struggle forever. You are human, and you are capable of learning, of changing, of building something better. It won't happen overnight. It won't be perfect, but it will be progress. And progress is everything. The next time you feel that panic, that fear, that shame around money, I want you to take a breath. And I want you to remind yourself that you are not your bank account. You are not your debt. You are not your mistakes. You are someone who is trying. Someone who is learning. Someone who is brave enough to face the uncomfortable truth and do something about it. And that is more than enough. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. Seriously, drop a comment and let me know what resonated with you. What trap do you recognize in your own life? And what's one thing you're going to change this week? Because I read every comment. And I want to hear from you. And if this helped you, share it, send it to a friend. Post it in your story. Because someone you know is struggling with this right now, and they need to hear that they are not alone. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. And remember, progress beats perfection every single time.